Market update here on the 31st, starting here with Tesla. So we got 5 waves in the bottom. I know I haven't done an update here in a while, but I've been following Tesla still every day, trading it. But we got 5 waves in the bottom, and then we got this move right here. I think that this was A, B, C, like that, based on futures and based on QQQ. I think we're up ready for the next leg higher. I'm not sure how high this is going to go, but I think that we're probably going to at least go up here to 207, just based on the fact that that is the 1.61 fib of this move right here. What I really want to see would be really nice would be if we got all the way up here to like 220, because then I think that would solidify a bottom right here. If we just do ABC here, then there's still a possibility that we come down lower. So I want to see 5 waves. I'm not sure if we're going to get it or not. It just depends on what QQQ does. I'll go over that here in a second. But I think that we're going to at least see this gap fill here at 207 in the next, I don't know, in the next like 16 days. So it could happen quick too tomorrow. I mean, futures are up right now. We'll see what happens. But the 1.61 fib is here at 207. Zooming out on the chart, on the daily, you can see here we A, B, ready for the C wave higher or the third wave. If it's 5 waves, that's going to be super nice. Because even if we get a big correction in the overall market, if we go all the way to 220, then it's unlikely we're going to go all the way down here to 160. We'd probably, I mean, it's still possible, I guess. Let's just see. If we go to 220, still possible, I guess. It could be like a very deep B wave, but it makes it less likely that we're going to break this low. So short term, looking for 207. After that, we'll see what happens. There's a lot of different possibilities, but that's really the only thing to focus on. We're finally bouncing and should see a pretty big move. That's like 10% higher. So I'm guessing Tesla is going to be one of the lead bulls on this bounce over the next, let's say, couple of weeks. On QQQ, it's debatable. I don't know which one's going to play out. I'm leaning towards the upside, though, just based on the fact that Tesla is going to bounce. You could say right here that this was 5 waves already. So you see 3, 4, 5. Excuse me. It's also possible that this is a 4th wave. We got 5 waves down from the top. This would have to be a B wave. If that's a 4th wave, then I'm looking at this as probably going all the way up here to about 434. So that would give us another 4% higher over the next probably 16 days. So that's possible too. But either way, I think we're bouncing because actually, let's look at this real quick. Yeah, we hit the 3rd wave right there. So I think we're bouncing either way. So if this was a top right here, if this was the 5th wave right here, then this was 5 waves down. So either way, we're bouncing because this would have to come back like that. Based on Tesla going 10% higher, I think that we're probably going to go to 433. That makes more sense to me. If we only bounce like 1.5%, 2%, then I think those moves can't really play out. So I'm looking for a 5th wave up here to 433, and we'll see what happens, but that's what I see for now. And then obviously that's going to be the top of the overall 3rd wave. And then I'm looking for a huge correction down here to at least like 380. So we're going to go from 430 all the way down here to like 380. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. Futures are up. Let's go over Microsoft. And that's another thing too, Microsoft, this looked like a fourth wave to me. So 1, 2, 3 on the daily, you can see fourth wave. So if it is a fourth wave, I actually bought calls on this today. I had my daily demand zone right here. We went right into it. I started averaging into them. So hopefully this is a fourth wave. And if it is, then I'm looking for this to go. I don't know if this first wave is going to give us any good levels. I would say probably go to like 420. So that would be about a 5% bounce on Microsoft. Potentially 420. If this was the top, then I'm still looking for a bounce here out of demand, potentially all the way here to 408 to 409. So that's kind of why I bought calls. But again, this is very dangerous to being the top. So you got to be careful here. If this were to go down tomorrow, which hopefully it doesn't, that was a pretty big sell-off today, I'd be out of those calls and I'd be playing that like this is the top. Apple, let's just see what Apple's doing. Apple 184 here. So didn't quite fill this gap right here. And look at that. It looked like a third wave, but it ended up invalidating. So we'll see what happens with Apple. Let me zoom out here on the daily. This is an interesting chart. Again, this might have been the fifth wave right here. I was looking for 212, but we did get a move down right here and then a bounce. So it's possible that Apple is pretty much finished and it's going to make a move down here, and I don't know, this chart's kind of different, I guess. It's a little bit tough to read right now. This is a fourth wave right here. Let's just see where. So that's why I got 210 right there. So if it's going to go to 210, then this is likely a fourth wave. This is probably a third. This was the fourth wave. This doesn't make a lot of sense right here, though. That's the problem. Maybe that's a second wave. That would be my guess. Let's just see. So 207, let's see where that would go. 207, pull back to 201. And let's just see. It goes a little bit past it, but 212 would be my target. There's a possibility this is a second wave. It might actually be worth buying here. Earnings are on are they on Friday? Maybe next week, either Friday or next week. I'll have to look at that. But if this is a second wave, you can make pretty good gains. You can make 10% on that. It seems highly unlikely though, depending on what QQQ does. 18% or 10%, that'd be 15% actually. That seems highly unlikely, so I'm probably wrong on that actually. We might have already topped out right here, and then this is the beginning of a C wave down. We'll move on from Apple. I want to see what it does tomorrow and then get a better idea. A lot of these I haven't looked at in a while. You can see Amazon has not hit that gap fill at 163 yet. Very close. So if QQQ is going to go higher, I expect Amazon to hit that at least. NVDA. NVIDIA. Well, first off, I'll say I don't think that this is a 5-wave move. I mean, I guess it has to be a 5-wave move. It didn't get outside the parallel line though. NVIDIA is a hard one to chart, but there is a possibility that it's making a 4th wave here. Let's zoom in here on this wave. Yeah, it could be. It could come down here to demand still, but I guess futures are green. It might have completed a 4th wave here too, and it might be heading higher after this. It's a tough one to chart because it doesn't look impulsive to me, but then again, it is impulsive because it went past the 1.61 fib by a mile. It could be a lot of different things. This could actually be. This could be a mega huge 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We could be in a mega 3rd wave here. Their earnings aren't till like late February too, so I'd watch out for NVIDIA. It's kind of a wild card. We don't know exactly what's going to happen with that one. Let's go over the dollar. I haven't done that in a while. So it is still kind of up here. Another reason why I think the market's going to go higher is this is the B wave. It's got to fall down here to the low 102s, I think, before we see that move higher. And we're just chopping up here for right now. I think there's going to be eventually a move down here to 102. And then we'll get that move up here, probably going into late March for the C wave. And then we'll see. That's when the real melt up will start. When we get up here to 105 on the dollar, that's when you're going to want to be buying everything because the next move after that takes the dollar down to 96. So dollar is right on pace here. Top was at, this took about 20 days, so I'm looking for at least to February 6th. We're looking at like February 6th for the B wave minimum. Could go longer. So another reason why the market's probably going to go higher. And what else we got here? Let's go over coin. I sold this last week at 134, but I think it's a decent buy right here. I think it's going to go higher still. I just got out because I was up and the market was dumping, and I wanted to play it safe. But I think that this is going to go to 140. And it is likely in a, it's probably like WXY. So WX. I'd be looking for potentially like 148, but here's my sell zone right here. I've had that for a while. 3-hour supply sell zone. That's kind of the only spot I'm expecting it to go to. I'm not expecting it to go to like 150. If it gets in the supply sell zone, then that is where you want to buy puts and sell your position because, again, the next move down on coin is taking this down to 88 bucks, 89 bucks, in my opinion. So again, let's zoom out here on the chart. We have WXA, and we're looking at this as like that, and then it's going to go to 260. So we're not there yet, but in late March, again, you're looking at a move all the way down here, sub 100, in my opinion. That's monthly demand down here. So you got to be careful on this next melt up because after it's over with, everything's going to fall off a cliff. Mara. Mara looks good right here. Looks really good. So that's a very nice chart, very nice chart, because it looks like 5 waves to me. We have 1, 2, 3, like absolute beautiful setup here, 4, and this looks like a second wave to me. So we're potentially looking at this like, I'd be looking for, you're probably looking at something up here. I have 3-hour supply up here at 22 bucks. I wouldn't be surprised if it hits 22 bucks in the next like couple of weeks. It would be invalidated below 17.29, but if we get a pop tomorrow in the morning up here to 20 bucks or so, be a pretty big move. But I'd be looking for this 3-hour supply zone here at 22.40, but then I'd be ready to short it for sure. This would be, let's see here. So this is likely ABC. So I guess there's a possibility. I mean, looks like 5 waves to me. I don't know what's going to happen after this, but I'm looking for like 21, 22. Going by what I see on coin though and Bitcoin, what I'm thinking is going to happen, this is likely going to end up here and then come down here farther. So I don't think that this has bottomed yet, actually, which is crazy to say, but let's take a look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin's just falling in line. It's probably going to, so this is definitely A. This took a month and 20 days. So I think you're probably looking at, because this took such a long time and I don't expect it to last, well, I can't do that. This is probably a W wave. So ABC, probably going to be looking at something like this. Let's zoom in here a little bit farther. So yeah, this is probably going to end up being a B wave. This took 6 days, so I'm looking for something around maybe the 4th. So on Sunday, maybe bottoms on Sunday, maybe you get something like this. And then I'm expecting a move higher after that. So you'd be looking at something around the 10th, maybe. And then I'm looking for the start of the move down. Based on what I see for the top here, this could go all the way up here to 47,000 by the February 10th. And then you're looking at something just like a normal flat. So you're looking at this moving down probably in about a month and a half, which is exactly where I've been talking about the other stocks. Probably end of March, you're looking at something down here in this range, 35 to 39,000. So the overall move is like this. And then I think the halving is in March, right? I'm not 100% sure. Maybe it's in April. But again, this is a 4th wave, and we're moving higher after that. So you can see how it's all setting up with the dollar. Everything is probably going to sell off throughout March. But for right now, we're looking for a move probably over the next week or two higher in the overall market and in Bitcoin and in these mining stocks. So that's going to be nice, but it's going to be a time to hedge. Get your hedges set up, because after that, there should be a pretty massive sell-off for a C wave down. So anyway, that's it. And one other thing about Bitcoin, it could go all the way down here to 34,000. And If you go all the way to 47,000, that's going to be a pretty big sell-off. That's going to be what is that, like a 30% sell-off? Not quite. Maybe like a 25% sell-off. So, yeah, it's going to be a pretty big drawdown in March for everything, I think, just based on the charts. We'll see if anything changes, but that's all I got for right now. Look for more upside over the next couple of weeks. All right, have a good one.